Okay.
So what's up? It's Michael from League of Items. I'm here with Kyle, the DFS Bachelor. What's up,
What's up,
Kyle?
everyone? How's it going, man? How you guys doing?
So we recorded a video earlier today on DFS Bachelor with Kyle. We went over the slate a little bit, and one of the things that we mentioned was some of the spreadsheets that I have, which might be useful for other people. So basically, we're gonna go through my sheet and kind of use it as a way to figure out how you feel about the slate, Kyle, and hopefully from there, we will know how you're gonna build your lineups tonight. So in front of me, well, in front of us, you'll see my spreadsheet. And right now, this has 4,500 lineups, basically, with three 4 stacks and four 3 stacks. Every different starter is included, and then it's broken down by team. So just going through the list real quick. This is the lineup number, not really important for you. The lineup type, it says like, is it a jungler 4-3 or 3-4? Which teammates is it excluding or including from the other team? Then you have the salary. This is a calculation because it's different for the captain slot, and then it goes position by position. This number right here is the average they score, which is it's probably better to replace that with a projection in the future, but I'm not here to tell people how other players are going to perform. This is mostly like, here are 4,500 different lineups that you can pick from,
Right,
and
which is awesome.
yeah.
Which is awesome.
So
I actually lost the. Oh, there it is. I had lost the sheet for a second.
word.
There we go.
So then the rest of this is the total salary for the lineup, the projected amount of points based on their averages, and then the lineup winning percentage. So I haven't done much research into lineup winning percentage yet, but basically what this shows is what's the chance that both of my teams win. So it's kind of treating it like a parlay. So if you have a Freak of Freaks and Billy Billy in one roster, what are the chances that both of those teams win? Because obviously we're looking for winning players
Exactly.
from winning teams. So the one problem with the sheet, the way that it's set up now, is that I only have enough space for 10 teams, but you shouldn't be getting exposure from 12 teams really. Uh, on this kind of slate, most people don't do that at least. And it's a simple fix if you wanted to change that out. So what I'm gonna do now is ask you, Kyle, who is your favorite team on the slate?
Right now for me, it's Sunning, and I know that they haven't been great lately. They've won me some money the last couple weeks. I love the prices, the upside. I love that it's an LOL, an LPL game.
Sure.
Some of that late hammer action.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Every
I'm
time,
I'm
every
addicted
time
to
I
that.
build, it's Sunning. I just keep coming back to Sunning every time. Uh, I am finding myself going with that favorite WE, but it's making me more and more nervous the more and more I dig into it,
Sure.
like we talked about on the show earlier. Uh,
Sure.
Really, I'm almost tricking myself into playing him because of some of the underdogs I'm playing, like uh, RW, like Rogue Warriors and Sunning. I find myself with a crap ton of salary left over. So,
Yeah, that's always a little scary. And
right,
and like if you took those lineups and looked at the sheet, you would kind of see that the salary is obviously highly correlated with the win percentage of the lineups because that's how they make the salaries in the beginning. So the next question I would have for you is, would you want your captain to come from Sunning or from the favorite?
I want it to come from Sunning. Uh, Number one, just to say this, when you start playing the favorites, then you run out of salary. Then you find yourself really kind of chasing and looking for something weird. And I like it that it's a contrarian play. I would much rather, for me in tournaments, I'm not looking to minimum cash. I'm looking to finish in first. So I want to do the most contrarian thing possible with big upside. Like right now, guys like Peanut for LGD, I'm having a lot in my captain, and Huang Feng
Mm-hmm.
from Sunning.
Sure.
Uh,
So then I'm gonna switch up the sheet. So I now, like, I didn't have Sunning included in my list before, but now it's in here. So obviously one of the teams that we're not going to use if we're playing Sunning is the team that they're playing against, and tonight they're playing against Top Esports. So we're gonna avoid Top Esports in the sheet.
Which I'm not saying ignore Top Esports in all of your builds. I'm just saying right now that's because Top Esports is obviously the favorite tonight, and they could put up a ton of points as well.
Yeah. But specifically when we're going to look at this lineup, I think they're excluded, and then we have one other team that's excluded.
Right.
So we can do this. We can go through this two ways. So basically what I did is I filtered out every other team except for Sunning, and then we're going to go back to the captain slot. And these are the 5 options that we have for captains. So since we're picking an underdog, we really don't have to have a top laner or a jungler or a support as a captain. So just for when we started off, let's take a look at Quan Fang and Angel as the captains. And then I'm going to sort everything. I already have a filter on this that shows only rosters that are under 50,000.
Perfect.
Let me just make sure that's set up right.
This is going to be highly helpful. For those of you that are watching over here, we did do a thorough breakdown of game-by-game breakdown, Mike really teaching us how to play this game properly, especially if you're someone like me who's new. So I would check that out as well. We're going to be doing a lot of this.
Yep.
We got a lot of time on our hands. I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to be drunk on 80% of the videos. Okay.
I will probably not be drunk on 80% of the videos, but maybe one of the next ones. If we get a victory, we can have a celebration.
There we go. That's good.
So now we have it all filtered out to the different possible combinations for our team. So we can either do this like looking at the secondary stack, or we can just go from the top to the bottom. So based on previous results, the best lineup that we're projecting for tonight with Sunning is an ADC 4-3 that skips the mid laner. So this means that you're going to have Sunning's top laner, jungler, support. And the logic behind this is that when you have an AD carry and a mid laner from the same team, they're fighting over the same number of kills.
That's great advice.
Yeah. So it is a little bit lower equity. Like in a perfect world, you would have the mid laner from that team as well, but just according to the results in the past, it's just not projecting out as well that way.
Gotcha.
So I think that it helps differentiate from other teams because, like, I think everybody's guilty of doing it. When you first open up DraftKings, you go to your favorite team, you pop in the AD carry or the mid laner, then you put the other one into the lineup, pick two of their teammates, and then just work from there. So that takes a lot of the time-consuming stuff out of this. So with access to a sheet like this, you can kind of just think to yourself, what teams do I like, and just go for it from there.
Right.
And then maybe there's teams you want to avoid and stuff like that. So let's just look at a couple of these. World Elite, Dragon X. Dragon X is another team we talked about earlier today.
Yeah.
They are a much smaller favorite than they probably should be. So that makes me think, there's high upside in incorporating those two teams together. That's an ADC 3-4 mid-top. So if we take a look at a lot of these lineups, it looks like the AD carry position is more valuable for Sunning in general based off of previous results, and I think that it makes sense because of how they play. Another thing we talked about before was the play style of Sunning, which is really heavy team fight oriented, and they want to protect their most important player, which is Quan Fang.
Right.
So,
what stands out to me is when you look at that salary remaining over here on the right, look how much salary you can have left over when you play Sunning. You can pretty much play anyone you want.
Yeah. And this is another way that you can kind of differentiate yourself is if you want to start pivoting from some players that are in this right now. So if you plug this into DraftKings and you said, well, I have 4,000 extra, what else can I do with this lineup? You can like swap out depth for a more expensive AD carry. You can switch out some of Sunning's teammates or Quan Fang's teammates to see if you can get some more win equity into your lineup. So let's say you have Quan Fang, but you want to get rid of BU and S of M. Like personally, I think it's obviously much lower correlated, but it is possible that the winning lineup has a captain and one teammate, two players from another team, and three players from another team.
Right.
It's just,
Sure.
Yeah, this sheet allows you to focus more on those kinds of things instead of focusing on like brute forcing out a bunch of lineups, because this takes the
right. And like I said, like I mean, 4,000 extra salaries probably a little bit extreme, but especially like if you're playing the big $10 tournament and you want that 50,000, like the casual players in any DFS sport, 80 to 90% of them will try to use every dollar of salary. That's just what they do. They think that's what you're supposed to do. So leaving that salary on the table really differentiates yourself from the field.
Yeah.
And if it goes off, there's very unlikely that anyone else is going to have that same lineup.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because I think that was definitely the case more so before coronavirus. I think a lot of the DFS pros, if you're looking at a contest like Titan's Fury or something like that, you're going to see a lot of these lineups with a lot of salary left over. They're still getting duplicated because they have the same mentality that we have.
Right. Or they're using the same cruncher as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
and
optimizer.
That's the other thing that I was going to touch on is what's the benefit of using something like this sheet as opposed to a cruncher? I think that most people, I know I can speak from experience on this, when I go to a website and I'm using their optimizer, I don't really have a full understanding of how to use it optimally, because they designed it, and during that design process they kind of work out all the bugs and start to understand like why they're building it that way. So we're left out of that process. With something like this, it's a lot more interactive, and you can kind of pick different things that you want to take a look at. So like you said before, we had $4,000 left over in salary. Maybe you're the kind of player who doesn't want to have that, but at the same time we realize that Dragon X is a little bit cheaper than they normally are. So let's switch around the teams. So now we have Dragon X, and let's see what kind of lineups we can get with Sunning involved that fit within the salary cap. And I think we're still going to get a lot of
I think so too.
Cheap teams and a lot of good teams.
So too.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, the salary. Like I was saying when we were looking at it before, Deft was like the 6th or 7th highest priced 80 carry.
Right.
I don't.
And all of a sudden he's way down there.
Yeah, I just don't get it. So I thought that by switching to Deft we would get more salary into our lineups, but apparently we get less.
And a guy like Deft, like even if you just look at Dragon X's games, even when they don't necessarily win the match, 2-1 losses, he's still scoring in the 50s, 60s, the 77 in a losing effort against HLE just last week.
Yeah. And Dragon X they're one of the best teams in the world. So I'd be shocked if they didn't make it to Worlds this year. Just the amount of talent that they have on their team is it's just crazy compared to most other teams. So let's see what's your favorite on the night?
Probably DRX is the favorite over KT, right? And they're probably them and WE.
All right.
I'm disturbed by WE's pricing. I think that might actually be interesting to pull up.
Sure.
Teams like Top Esports and WE, just to see what you're supposed to do
with them as your captains.
Sure, because they're so expensive.
Yeah. So let's do that real quick. So I'll pick up every team, and let's just show everybody what this kind of looks like when you don't have this filtered out.
I suspect we'll see a lot more 49,900 and 50,000 lineups doing that. I really do.
Yeah.
Or going over.
Yeah, exactly. So when you start taking a look at these teams, so we have Team World Elite plus Billy Gaming. Obviously, we can't have that combination with the highest projected result, which would have a mid. But if we just want to do something like this, we can see what possible combinations are there out there for the two of the favorite teams.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. Well, apparently there is no possible combination.
Did you see that? Yeah, look at that salary. And I think that makes a lot of sense. You're gonna have to take chances and maybe play a team you don't have a ton of confidence in, and hope they pull it off. Or hedge yourself. If you play $10 and usually play $3 lineups, maybe do 10 $1 lineups tonight and give yourself some more exposure to these other teams. Give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
So like a game we talked about, pretty similar pricing, DWG and HLE. Not our favorite game by any stretch. They're an LCK team, lower scoring, but maybe you have to do something like that. And so if you are taking the favorites, maybe you make a 4-3 or 3-4 stack with WE or Top Esports, and you do the same lineup with DWG, and then you do the same lineup with HLE. Just kind of hedge your bets.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a horrible strategy tonight.
No, not at all. I think that's what you see a lot of the pros doing.
Right.
Is that they'll recognize a play that is low equity and will probably not hit, but there was a guy last night, I think it was Jumbalumba. He had, I think, 30 different combinations of DMO.
There you go.
So early on in the night when they were the highest scoring team, like he was all over the top of the leaderboard.
Right.
And that's a great way to kind of differentiate yourself. I forget what was the top lineup last night.
The top lineup last night. Let me go. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go to history. I can tell you it was not mine.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But I took some chances last night. I was fine. I thought T1 would do a little bit better. I know they did win, but I didn't get the kind of points. Who really hurt me was esports. I knew I should have went with VG. So the top lineup last night had 710 Wooby Cakes, and they stacked VG, and they had iBoy in the captain spot, Cube. So let's see, they did a 4-3 VG LN or VG DMO stack.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So let's do the head-to-head and see how much they had. 9,900 left in the cap. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, that's kind of what you have to do sometimes to take down a tournament of this size.
They only used 40,000 in salary.
Yeah.
So is that what you're telling me?
That is exactly what I'm telling you. So let's go back to the sheet. And so originally,
that's amazing.
Yeah, we were looking at DragonX.
And he Wooby Cakes, he's all over the leaderboard. He just had DMO up the ass. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do it again, and let's care less about the salary. So now we go back into this. We have DragonX as our captains, and the highest would be 486. And actually, I can do this where I incorporate Sunning too. So if you were looking for all the possible combinations of Sunning and DragonX, you would be left with, let's see, you would have, let's get a count, 100 possible lineups that fall within the salary range.
Wow. I'm stunned that there was $9,900 in salary left over in that winning lineup. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured that was going to be the case because
he deserves it. That takes guts.
Yeah.
That takes guts to leave 10,000 on the table. You're not going to hear me giving that guy a hard time. That takes guts.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
So then I guess the last thing just to take a look at from this is if you look at the top projected and the lowest projected from DragonX plus Sunning, the ones that are at the bottom are obviously top and support and stuff like that, which just goes back to what we were saying in the video that we have on your channel, that the 80 carry and the mid laners are really the ones that give you the additional upside.
Right.
So unless you're stacking two favorites, you're probably not going to need a jungler, a top laner, or support as your captain.
Right. Are you seeing like an optimal, like two like clear-cut favorites that maybe for even a cash game, you're like, if you just play these two favorites and get it sorted out, you're going to be in good shape? Is there Are there any two teams like that tonight?
So that's actually a great question, and that's something that I recognized in the higher stakes. In the higher stakes games, they are often stacking two heavy favorites, and that means that in the high stakes games, they need to use a jungler or a top or a support. So I don't know if anybody out here watching this is one of those high stakes players, but you know, you really give yourself the most upside of winning one of those kinds of tournaments by having a mid laner or an AD carry as your captain. So if you want to take a shot at winning something like that, I really think that over time the best results are going to come from the people who are willing to use underdogs in the high stakes games. That just seems like a really underexplored thing right now because everybody's just so focused on it.
Yeah, that's all I want to do now. That's all I'm doing. I'm willing to lose money to get there. I'll take the losses, but keep the strategy. Yeah. That's how you gotta do it. Scared money does not make money. It's fact.
Yeah, facts. True.
Fact.
So I think that's really it. I think I'm considering putting together some kind of projections where I'd have to figure out how I want to do my projections specifically. But anybody who wants access to this sheet, just contact me on Twitter, contact me on YouTube, and I'll try to work something out where I can give you access to the data that's in here, and we'll see how that goes.
We're still, we're still, getting our feet wet, getting these esports videos up. We'll get a thing figured out where they can get access to a sheet. Maybe they can see your favorite stacks, my favorite stacks, some different combos. We'll get it sorted out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to hop on, and get some kind of coaching or consulting about what kind of lineups you're running out tonight, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out Kyle on DFS Bachelor. Kyle, anything else you wanted to add before we finish up?
No, I just think that sheet is phenomenal. I think that's really smart. I love it. Be sure to check him out. I'm going to be sending all my viewers here. We're going to be doing lots of videos.
Yep.
Keep giving us your input, things you'd like to see, hear about, etc. I think all that's great. And if you want a full breakdown, like you said, we did a video on my channel at DFS Bachelor earlier. There's a link to this channel, so you should be able to jump from video to video. Big, long, 50-minute run-through of each game. So,
yes, all the videos, big and long.
And everyone be safe. Be safe. I hope you're all well. Thoughts and wishes and good vibes to everyone who is affected by everything going on. Try to stay positive. And that's it for me.
And that's it for me. So, again, thanks for watching. Cheers. And we'll see you guys later.